Okay, we're going live.
Oh yeah.
I got to try to stay stationary in my seat.
Yep.
I don't want to reveal that until the very end, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going live. Nope.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I gotta try to stay stationary in my seat.
Yep.
Okay,
Getting
I've
the
got it
echo.
muted now. I've got it muted now.
Oh, okay.
We were getting feedback from the YouTube. So, okay. Well, I've got so many windows open here, it's going to be hard to figure this all out. Because I have a smaller screen now than I did before. Well, I had two monitors hooked up and I only have one now. But that's okay. We'll work around it. I just got to make sure I can see chat and everything. Get my Zoom window a little smaller.
Man,
So
you
yeah,
got
you've
like
been busy, haven't you?
yeah. It's today he had one last little scrimmage with the two teams that he's on,
Uh-huh.
and then that's it for soccer. And then he starts basketball.
Oh yeah,
Basketball practice on Sunday, and he has like games starting a couple days after that.
Mhm. Well, at least basketball's indoors, right?
Yeah.
The weather's probably starting to change already for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little bit colder, but it warmed up the last few days.
Yeah. It's been in the 70s here.
His mom, it's probably been nice, huh?
Yes. It's been actually real nice. So yeah. So I recently took a trip out west, and I took one of the places we were at was Santa Fe. We drove through Taos, but we didn't really do much there. It was just like a drive through going up to Colorado Springs and Denver. But Santa Fe, I wanted to share pictures. Kind of why I went live tonight, just to share the pictures, because I want people to know that just because the chase is over or you're kind of tired of it, if you haven't made it out to Santa Fe, I highly recommend it. And I highly recommend that you go to the Nedro Patuzzi gallery, because, it was pretty interesting. What bothered me the most was they didn't share any of the old history of the gallery. I was like, man, you guys are like missing out, I mean, I would have paid $5-10 to go through there, you know what I'm saying? But it is a gallery, so most people don't charge for, galleries, because they're actually selling something. But I feel like, man, the story, the story of that place could make somebody a lot of money, in my opinion.
I agree.
I have a friend, that is pretty well off, and I jokingly told him, I was like, so I've got a proposition for you. He goes, oh, really? He goes, the last proposition you gave me, we had to sell the business. The mosquito flying around. But and that's only because of the game, So he's in Orchland, and you ever heard of Orchland Farm and Home?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Tractor Supply?
Yeah.
Okay. So Tractor Supply bought out Orchland Farm and Home. So, he was trying to help me out when I was making my games. He's like, hey, make me one with the Orchland Farm and Home logo on there, and And he goes, I'll pitch it to my brother Barry. He's at the top of the totem pole there. Well, I didn't realize at the time, but he jokingly said, you know what? I should have you make me a Tractor Supply one too, because I'm sure Barry would hate that. He's like, if your game was on the Tractor Supply shelves and not on the Orchland shelves, he wouldn't like that. And I was like, well, if you want one, I'll make you one. And I didn't end up making one anyway, but it was just kind of funny because we found out like a year later, through the grapevine that Orchland's was being sold to Tractor Supply. My Orchland buddies were telling me about this, and I'm like, oh, well, that explains why John wanted me to make a Tractor Supply Toss-It box.
Huh.
It is kind of funny. So anyway, Tractor Supply bought out Orchland's, and I was jokingly telling him, I was like, so it'd be kind of cool. How would you like to have a gallery in your portfolio? I think that'd be kind of, because I told him, I said, I told him a little bit that, he knows a little bit about the chase. He knew I was, hunting for treasure, and they know a little bit about the thrill of the chase, but not a lot. I don't try to talk too much about it with my friends, other than if they ask a question, then I'll give an answer or something. But yeah, it's he knew a little bit about it, but I told him, I was like, man, that place is missing out on the history of the place. That's what's going to make you the money, So that's what go ahead.
Are you talking like keeping it as a gallery or what?
Well, I think you could do a little bit of both. I don't know why you couldn't have it as a gallery / not necessarily a museum, but I don't know what you would call that. It wouldn't be a museum. They've got the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum, and we paid like $20-some for each one of us to go through that.
Really?
And it was nothing but rooms with paintings on the wall.
Huh.
And of course, some of the history about Georgia O'Keeffe, was really cool. Don't get me wrong, I took a lot of those pictures too. Maybe I should share those sometime. Well, I don't know if I could share them. Well, I guess I could share them. But
is that the one that's her old house?
No. See, I think wasn't it Abiquiu? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's up by Taos, is where she lived. I want to say Abiquiu or something like Abiquiu.
Isn't there like a little adobe building right out front or something?
The museum? No.
No. Okay.
Maybe up in Taos there's something, but we weren't in Taos. We were just in Santa Fe at the museum there. It's just a building with, a building with a bunch of paintings in it, all Georgia O'Keeffe paintings. Some of them have been donated, just to the museum. But I was thinking, after, we went to the Georgia O'Keeffe on Friday, and on Saturday, was it Saturday? Saturday morning, we went to the gallery, and I was just like, wow, the history in there, just amazing. Would amaze somebody.
How long did you spend there?
We were there quite a while. I mean, at least a couple hours, at least, not longer than that. And then I found CE4. That was huge right there to me. I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? And come to find out, after we got back from our vacation, I emailed the gallery and asked some questions about it. And that chest, CE4, had been sitting there since 1988 when they bought it from Forrest.
Is that not for sale or something?
I don't think it didn't have a price tag that I saw on it, but they did quote me a price.
It just seems like it wouldn't have been there that long,
You wouldn't think. I was just completely floored when I saw it. And so I wasn't going to open it, but I was like, yeah, it's just a chest sitting there, I was like, this is pretty interesting, kind of cool looking. And I opened it up, and I'll show you in a little bit. I opened it up, and there was a little, like a sticker tag, like an old sticker tag. Like I think it was maybe rectangle, and it was upside down. Well, I just looked at it and flipped it over. And the first thing that caught my eye was it said CE4 on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this has to have been belonged to Forrest. So I was just like, I was floored. I couldn't believe it.
What are the
Anyway,
chances?
huh?
I said, what are the chances?
That's what I thought. Okay. Now I got to figure out my share. Here we go. Share screen. Oh, letting me share. Oh no. No. Record. Deny. Basic. Oh. I've got to change my share settings before it'll let me share. I forget I'm on a different computer now. So let's see, where is that at? I gotta change my preferences so I can share it. There's always something, you get it. Everything on my other computer was already set up and ready to go. For some reason. Okay. Oh, goodness.
What's the Vikings record now? Are they 4-3?
3-5? Is that right?
Oh, they're 3-5?
Yeah.
No, they're 7. They played 7 games so far.
3-4 then. We're 3-4. Would I say 3-5?
Yeah.
Systems.
Jefferson hurt?
He's been having some issues lately.
Yeah, those 3-5 injuries. That's what it is.
Okay. Well, I've got to figure this out. I may not be able to share them. Oh, great. Okay. It's in my preferences somewhere here. And of course, it's not telling me exactly where to go to. Let's see, what did it say here? Opens in security and privacy to grant access. Okay, security, privacy. Well, I'm there. Well, that's not it. Sorry, got some.
You good?
Something you want to talk about while I figured this out? Well, gotta find out where it is.
Did you go down to the plaza?
Yes, I took
How was
pictures
that?
of the statue. A lot for what's his name? Pedro.
On the
Secure?
horse, right?
Yes. Uh-huh. Well, it looks like I've given access, but doesn't tell you which one. Files and folders. Navigator. Interesting. Well. Oh, here it is. No, that's TeamViewer. Well, I don't see my Zoom. Well, that's not good.
How are you trying to do it anyways? You're trying to,
See, on the other Mac, my file sharing was, I could share stuff. But on this, it's not set up. This one's not set up that way. So it says open security and privacy. That's where I'm at, but I don't see it in here. It's telling me exactly where to go, but I don't see it. Well, isn't that weird? Okay.
could you
Well,
could you put it on your like background? Or would that be too hard to do for
yeah, because you'd have to do it individually. You're talking about for my green screen?
yeah.
Yeah, you have to go change every one of them. Well, just when you think you have everything figured out.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I've got to change something in my preferences in order for it to show up. So, but after that, it doesn't tell you what. So I'm trying to find my Zoom here. That's what I'm looking for right now. Man, I am not finding it. Well, that's a bummer. That stinks. Sharing here. Isn't that crazy? I don't know how to do it. I'm not finding it for some reason. App management. Oh, that's really weird. That makes me mad.
Always something, huh?
It is, isn't it? I mean, I know exactly where to go to, but it's not showing up. Don't want that. It's something you've got to allow. So yeah, it's not a Zoom preference thing. It's my system preferences. Well, peanuts.
So you can't even do it through Zoom at all?
No. It says open system preferences, security and privacy to grant access. So. Oh, it's something you got to click, get the right one. Screen sharing. It's your desktop.
Have you shown that vault picture behind you?
Have I done what?
Have you shown that picture behind you?
No, I haven't shown this one before. Well, sorry, everybody. My plan was interrupted with technical difficulties. I was checking out chat real quick. Can you see chat?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
If somebody out there knows what I'm supposed to be looking for, help me out. Because I'm not seeing it. I mean, it tells you where to go, but then I don't see nothing there.
Did you watch K-Pro's show from the other night?
So it says here, allow the applicant. Okay, well, that's your camera. I found it. Zoom is selected. Of course, I'm on camera, so we know that's working. What'd you say, Galaxy? I'm sorry.
Oh, if you watched K-Pro's show the other night?
I did. I didn't watch it live. I watched it afterwards. Man, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out. Different time. Well, crap. See, Zoom is not in here. Maybe I have to add it in here. There's not a plus in here. There's not an add button. I thought I could add Zoom in there. But Zoom is not in here. Man. Well, peanuts. I was just seeing what you were saying to Bill.
I just don't understand how, if they're trying to make an interesting documentary and they're including searchers, why Bill Gorman wouldn't be one of them.
Yeah, I agree. So what I could do, I guess I could Google it.
Bill's got the solution for you to
What's
figure
that?
that out
What's that?
in the comments.
Oh, he did? Or is he being funny?
Yeah, I'm just being funny.
Get the Apple for Dummies book. Well, believe it or not, I'm an Apple user, but I don't do Zoom all the time. Like I said, this computer is not the one I typically use. So the settings are different on this one. So I just did a Google. Click share screen loader. Select the
Honestly, at this point too, I'd almost say a good documentary would have to include Barb.
Yeah, everybody's pretty quiet, aren't they?
Yeah, Bill didn't even answer the question.
You just skipped over it.
Hmm.
Okay, we're going to get somewhere here. Ah, found it. We're going to get somewhere. We're going to get somewhere here. Oh, nope, back up. Where did I see that? Screen recording. Zoom. Bam. I love Google. Amazing what you can find. Okay, I think we're in business, Galaxy. Finally. Well, we'll see.
Got it?
Well, it told me what to do and I did it, but here we go. I think we're getting somewhere. Ah, bingo. We got it. Can you see those?
Yep.
Oh, finally. Oh my goodness. I need a beer after that. So I got to find all my windows again. Okay. You're there. Chat's there. Okay, we're good. So this is the entryway that takes you into the front door here. And notice the bell. Notice the bell.
That's the main entrance, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
And it takes you to like this. Takes you to the into the garden there. Very pretty. Oh my gosh. They do a pretty good job of keeping it up too. There was these huge bronzes everywhere. Look how that tree was growing through there.
I see that.
in the little pit. Yeah, you people, if you haven't been to Santa Fe to see this, I would definitely highly recommend taking a trip to Santa Fe. It was well worth it. This is one of the rooms. All the doors. So over here on the right, you can't see. I've got a better picture of, but Forrest, I guess, loved doors, and he had there's all different kinds of doors in here in the gallery. This was a room that had some doors in it that, nobody was even, they weren't even using those. It was just a door, a room off to the side that I jumped in and took a couple of pictures.
Is that just leaning against that?
Yeah, it's just leaning against that. There were some more doors over there too. This was a room that like had a file cabinet in it. It had some stuff in there that it wasn't for viewing. It was just like a little storage room that they had.
Did you get to see where his old den was?
No, I don't think so. And these were these wooden stairs, spiral staircase. That's where it went up to the living quarters.
That's pretty cool looking right there.
It was roped off. Well, I might have jumped over and ran up there, but I can't share those pictures. I didn't. Oh, there's the other door. Look out. I mean, and just the ceilings all had every ceiling was a little different. This was like a little kitchenette, that's what it was. That's right. But just the brick flooring alone.
Huh.
And check out this room. All the doorways were all different. They were either really rounded, like an arch, or they were kind of back here, kind of, it's barely rounded, but it's more of a rectangle. And this one's different than the other three. But yeah, and the wood floor in these things, oh my gosh. And there was art on the walls everywhere. And all that's for sale. That's a room we come through this way, and that's where that stairway was roped off over here. I don't know what was covered. I don't remember that being covered up there. Wonder what that was.
Huh.
That was a Glenna Goodacre bronze. Sidewalk sketch is what it was called. There was a lot of Glenna Goodacre bronzes in there. She did a lot of work at the gallery. I'll show you the room where she did a lot of where the foundry was.
Well, didn't she just do the modeling?
No, she actually did. No, huh?
You sure?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought she was just the artist that made the clay. And and then Forrest is the one that cast him.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so, because it says here Glenna Goodacre.
Well, yeah, that would technically be her. It's her art, but
That could be. I did the way that the girl explained it was she worked in the foundry that created all these bronzes. And she's also the one that did the humongous one in Philadelphia. This was just a piece of art. It was pretty cool.
Huh.
I spent most of my money on women and beer. The rest I just wasted. I think that was a Glenn Goodacre too. Oops. There was a lot of different ones. Yeah, it's a Glenn Goodacre.
Yeah, I believe the story is that Forrest is the one that got her to like start modeling clay like that so he could cast them.
Yeah, but I don't think he cast these because he would have had his, it would have had a Fenn bronze on it.
True. That's true.
So yeah. Okay, come on, what are you doing? This was, I can't remember if that was a Glenn Goodacre or not. I mean, the details in this stuff is amazing. Yeah, that's a Glenn Goodacre too. $12,000.
Jeez.
Yeah, I couldn't afford anything in there. There's another door. There was a lady that went in and out that door, and I kept trying to catch her as she was going in and out so I could get a picture of what was behind the door.
Huh.
I was trying to, you can see private residence. Oh, this one was pretty cool. This is I mean, the detail on these things. Oh, this was a Gibbs Singleton, $55,000.
Jeez.
I mean, look at the detail in that. Isn't that crazy?
Sure is.
I mean, the amount of work that went into that. I mean, my gosh. Oops, wrong way. Here's another one. That's another Gibbs Singleton. It wasn't expensive. It was 14,000. But yeah, the detail in these bronzes are just crazy. Some of the art on the wall. That's a Leon Gaspard painting. And that was a Leon Gaspard painting also. I mean, some of this art was still on the wall when Forrest sold it. Doug Hyde, you remember his name?
No, I don't.
Yeah, he was a friend of Forrest, Doug Hyde. It's just the detail in these things are crazy. So Pony Express, do you remember scrapbook? I thought about scrapbook 205 with the belt buckle.
Yeah.
That's a Gibbs Singleton also. Pony Express.
Man, would you use to take the pictures?
This is my phone.
Wow, it takes pretty good pictures.
That's iPhone, and iPhones do pretty good. That's a Joseph Henry Sharp painting there. Here's another door. I couldn't believe all these doors. There was just paintings, and I can't remember what these books were.
Is that one an odd shape?
This one here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See it up here?
Huh.
The guy did tell me that Forrest had a thing for doors. Like here's one, it's a gated door. I mean, look at all this. What do they call that? It's like stucco. Is that what it's called? Um,
Uh,
no, it's not stucco, but I can't think of what it's called now. All the walls were made
It's
of,
like plaster, right?
I don't know if it was plaster or not. Here's another door. In the ceilings. Look at the
Uh-huh.
ceiling here. Massive ceilings. That's the entryway when you come in. Over on the left there. That's the entryway where you come in. I think, wasn't this in a scrapbook? Maybe not. One like it, I think.
Did you go in a room that had like stairs going down?
Yes, I'll get to that in a minute. Here's the vault door. So I asked the guy, I said, so what's the story with the vault door? I said, this has to be a pretty important room inside there. Some heavy duty meetings or something was going on in there. And he just laughed and
Yeah.
he's like, no, he goes, I think Forrest just, the guy that owned it before, Forrest Fenn, just liked his doors an awful lot. There's some more different doors. There's tile floor. All the floors were different. The ceiling, look at the ceiling here. It's different than all the rest of them. It was, yeah, I was just like in awe. So there's the Irish Memorial in Philadelphia. Glenna Goodacre.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's hers. That thing is huge. It's bronze.
Wow.
That's the room. That's the room where where the vault door was at. Look at that seating area. So you know this is probably like a viewing. I assumed it was like a viewing area for very expensive painting, for like, you got some big clientele coming in, some big wig, like Michael Douglas, and he's wanting to buy some art. You set him up in this room here. And that's what I'm doing there. I'm checking out my art. I told
Figuring
my
out
wife,
which one you're gonna buy, huh?
yeah, I told my wife, I said, take a picture as I'm looking at this art. There's another door. I didn't get to make it there, but there's actually I don't even know the name of it because I missed it. But I kicked my butt for not going back. But there's a building, they sell nothing but doors. And I saw them on the outside of the building as we were driving by. And there was just thousands of doors. I can't imagine how many doors that place had. But it would have been cool to go kind of check it out.
Like all different like this?
All different, yeah. They were all different. These were Glenna Goodacre bronzes. The little miniatures, I was like, maybe I can afford one of these miniatures. Nope. Hang on. We're babysitting our son's dog, and he's wanting to go out. He's whining, aren't you, Oakley? Just that miniature bronze right there, $900. Yeah. Here's another door. What's that?
Was that him grunting at you?
Yeah. Let me know. I want to go out. I was curious in this room here. I'd like to know what all the art was in this room in here. But look at that door. I've got some more pictures of that somewhere here. That's another Glenna Goodacre. There it is. Look at all that.
Did
Text
they
my wife.
have did they have cameras all over the place?
Oh, I'm sure they did. I mean, I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to. I'll put it to you that way.
Right. I mean, it just looked like it's so spread out and
It is.
clustered that I feel like it would be.
There was like 4 or 5, 1, 2. At one time, there was like 3 people working in there. There was a lot of rooms too. I was surprised. But yeah,
What are those, all little charms or trinkets?
yeah, yeah. Some of them are coins, I think, or some kind of trinkets or something. I mean, think about just trying to collect all that. Now, I don't know if that's something for Shiloh would probably know the story behind some of this stuff. This is the kind of stuff I would be interested in hearing from Shiloh. You know, the story behind all this stuff. It would just, I don't know if Forrest made this or if he bought it this way. I have no idea. But yeah. That was the other side. That's the other side of the door. It was just, look at that thing. It looks like an alien.
Look at the frog.
Yeah. But it looks like an alien frog.
I bet you that's one that he did.
He might have.
You
Like I
know what
said,
that looks like? That looks like a failed lid or something.
could be to one of the jars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, if you get a chance, you got to go see all this. Um, just that fireplace too.
What was that last one? Can you go back?
Yeah. Texting my wife that Oakley wants out. Whoops. That one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just the Santa Fe Community Foundation Circle of Care. Nadra and Richard Matuzzi. Matuzzi. I think that's how it's pronounced. Matuzzi.
Mm.
This was a picture. There was a bunch of pictures on this desk, and I don't know why I took a picture of this. I don't see nobody I know. I don't see anybody I know.
You know, how come there's no in between pictures of Fenn? I feel like he goes from looking young to old, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Seems like there's nothing from like 50 to 60.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Like this was a bookshelf that was up here towards the top of the ceiling. Interesting. Oops. I'm going the wrong way here. There's another door. There's a metal door. I don't know if it was solid or not, but it looked pretty heavy.
Oh wow.
Had some big locks on it.
Door handle in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Here was a safe. Whoops. I don't know if this safe was something that was there before. Like I said, there was nobody there walking through there with us. So I didn't get a chance to ask a lot of questions. I don't know if that was something that was there when Forrest was there or not. And over on the left here, there's a doorway that takes you out to a garden on the inside. You're inside the gallery and this is a garden.
Is it open to the open air, or is it like glass ceiling?
I think it was open, yeah. But I think they had it closed off though. Some of it's closed off. It's like crazy. There's your room, Galaxy. Remember the little narrow door right here? The little door?
It's a little bit behind. It's still showing outside.
Oh, okay. Are you on Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know if you were watching off YouTube, Zoom or not.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, the little door. And that's
Well,
where you go downstairs to the,
what's down there?
you couldn't go down there. It said stay out.
Did it?
No, it didn't say stay out, but it said, I can't remember what it said on there. I've got a picture of it here in a minute. But that door is narrower than what it looks. I couldn't have went through there just straight through with my shoulders. You know?
So this is the room where that movie scene was at, right? Where they're playing pool?
Yeah, that's it. And God Created Woman. I think that's the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going through some of these books up here and I found a Leon Gaspard little book that had some of his art in it. It was like a 5.5 by 8.5 book. And it had Fenn Gallery stamped on the back of it. I asked them if it was for sale and they said no.
Huh.
Oh, I'm going too far. Slow it. Oh gosh. Now I'm ruining it. I was going to see if I could see what the door said. Keep door closed or something like that, it said. I wanted to go through it, but I couldn't.
I can't believe nobody was with you.
Yeah. There's some more doors. But yeah, that little narrow door, it was hilarious. I couldn't, it was locked. Can't imagine what's behind there.
Huh.
Another fireplace. There was tons of those. There's a picture of the room from the other side. I assume a lot of this stuff that's in this room was there when Forrest sold the place. Probably been there since 1988. I did pick up I did pick up one of the pamphlets. Remember the 50-year anniversary they had?
Yeah.
So they had some pamphlets, extra pamphlets sitting down there. So I grabbed a couple.
Was that for anyone to go to?
I don't think so. I think it was only invitation only or something, wasn't it? I know Cynthia went. I don't know who else. I don't think too many people went really. I know Cynthia was there. I was taking a picture of the brick. Oh, there's a better picture of it. Another picture of the door. Keep door closed, that's what it said. I thought about going down there. As long as it's closed, I figured I was okay.
You just had to close it behind you.
Now, here's the chest. Oops. There's the chest. I was curious. I opened it. And that's what was in it. But this was upside down. And I flipped it over. And that's actually spelled wrong. It should be S-T-H-A-N. I think it's missing an H in here. Rajasthan, India, CE4. But yeah, the detail on this thing was pretty crazy. It didn't have like a key. It just had like a place where you could put a lock on it. And behind here, there's wheels. There's wheels. So you could pick it up, I think by this end over here, had like a handle on it, and you could pick it up and it would roll. I didn't try it, but
Oh, so that's wood with like decorative metal on it somehow.
yeah, decorative metal, yeah. It's probably like a tin, I assume. I think that's what they told me it was. Oops, going the wrong way. Yeah. Thought it was pretty cool. Another Glenna Goodacre bronze. That one was pretty cheap, actually, 2,100.
What's it, the size of like a baseball?
Mm-hmm. So I'll share this with you. Well, I can't because I'm already sharing this. I guess I still can. You can still see, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's just don't be a small. I'll have to wait till I get done sharing. I've got something to share. Anyway, a lot of bronzes. Mm-hmm. That turtle was pretty cool. That's a Doug Hyde. That was pretty. A lot of different patinas on it. Can't remember who that picture that was. I can't see it too far. More paintings. Now this room is pretty cool too. Look at the ceiling on this thing and the barn wood on the walls and the tile. So back here in this room back here is where they did that's where the foundry was. So there's a desk over here to the right. Well, you see this where you can sit down, but there was a desk.
Still catching up right now.
Oh, okay. Can you see the room now?
That floor looks pretty uneven.
Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's just probably the way I was. It's the way I was probably holding the phone or something. But yeah, this barn wood on the walls and the ceiling, the logs. Oh my gosh, crazy.
Uh-huh.
That room back there in the very back was where the girl was telling me where Glenna Goodacre and Forrest worked on that was the foundry back there. Oops. There's another door. Bunch of paintings on the wall. Another Glenna Goodacre. Another door. Just a lot of stuff. Oh, there's the foundry room. I'll let it catch up. Are you to the point where you can see the little stove?
Yep.
Yeah. So these seats are here are pretty popular, I guess, in the South, in that area. Because even the hotel we stayed at, we had something like this in our hotel room on one of the walls. That kind of reminded me of Teachers with Ropes, kind of, sort of. And
Huh.
that's a statue, believe it or not. That's crazy.
God, it looks real.
Yeah, it does. I can't remember what the name was on that. It shows it or not. Clement, something Clement. I can't remember. There's one of those outside too. Another door with some bronze mass on them. That was right before you go into the foundry area. Bunch of nude statues. This was like the bathroom. This was a bathroom. Looks very finny, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Was that for anyone to use?
I didn't ask, but the door was slightly open. So I opened it and took some pictures. Bronzes. I haven't even got to, oh, now I'm getting to the outside, to the garden. And there's the owl.
Does it say who did that one?
No, that one, if it did, it was on the ground maybe, and I didn't get a picture of it. These were all for sale too. I don't remember, the rabbit didn't have a tag on it. Tell what it was, but all the other ones did. They were all for sale. Not cheap either. There's a picture of the pond. Oops. Can't remember how much. Oh, yeah. It was a frog. I didn't see no alligators.
Wasn't very deep, huh?
No, huh? Deer. Remember. That's a Glenna Goodacre too. 295,000.
Jeez.
You have to have some deep pockets if you wanted to buy something. There's a buffalo. Who did that one? Dan Ostermiller. I haven't heard of him. Oops, sorry. Herb Mignery. We haven't heard that name before either. That's a 3-piece there. There were several bears. There's Pig. That's that Dan guy again.
Is that bronze?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bronze. Just has a different patina on it. Each one was a little bit different. Oops, went the wrong way. Yeah, this one was kind of funny. The bear was showing its butt.
Huh.
More the pond. There's an elephant. That thing was huge. The ram. That was all one piece right there. Isn't that crazy? I think that was a Glenna Goodacre.
Wow.
That's a Glenna Goodacre, yeah. It's not a bad price on it.
Is that 120?
Yeah. That was 1990 is what it said. I forgot they had dates on them too. I thought this was interesting right here.
Huh.
It's probably like a pump underneath there or something.
Could be.
I thought it was interesting looking.
Is that actually, that's a little higher than everything else, isn't it?
Yeah. Another bear. I think the Dan guy's the one that did all the animals. Nope. Oh my gosh, you want to see that mugshot? Skip over that one. Others with those Great Danes. Isn't that crazy looking?
Sure is.
I was sitting outside. 30,000.
Is that the one you bought?
No. Bronze and coat concrete. It says edition of 5. Another bear. Different patina. It's funny how they all had different patinas. That was pretty cool. It's laying on the ground. That was big. It doesn't look big in the picture, but it was. This one wasn't a bronze. This was stone. Isn't that cool though?
Yeah, it is.
That's a Doug Hyde. Pink Portuguese marble. That was really cool. It's really pretty. This is in the back where the guest houses were at. There's a gate where they could the special guests could drive up in here. I did ask them if they still rent it because I was jokingly, the first lady I talked to, I was like, I said, I'm joking, but not joking. I said, I actually looked on VRBO to see if you all rented out any of the guest houses. And she goes, no, that's just strictly for clientele. And I'm like, I'm sure it is. Another elephant. There was even doors outside. Sorry, Johnny. Clydesdale. I don't remember what that was.
That right there.
I don't remember. I don't know what this is. Mural. Something mural.
Somebody kicking.
What's that?
Oh, it just looked like that grate was kicked in.
Yeah. Yeah. There was just tons of stuff all over. There's the boneyard. Looks like something Forrest would have put.
Huh.
It's another bronze. And this had electricity to it, so I assume probably had a pump and it would pump water and flow down. It wasn't working, but was that in a scrapbook this year?
I can't remember.
Can't either. There's Glenn at Goodacre standing next to the the oh, what's it called now? Something Memorial, Irish Memorial in Philadelphia. Look how big that is compared to her.
Wow. What is that supposed to depict?
It's the Irish Memorial. It's like the
Getting off the boat? Is that what that is?
I think so. That's the long table. That's the room that was when you first walk in with the vault door. And I believe that's all of them. All of those. Okay.
That was cool to see those.
Okay, where's my Zoom? Here we go. I'm waiting for it to stop sharing.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, those are cool to see.
Yeah. Now I'll load the other ones up real quick. I just have like 10 more. Somebody asked in the chat, Tigger asked when I took these pictures. It would have been 7th, October 7th, just pretty recent. Pretty recent. Gosh, I've been using this mouse and my hand's going numb. I've managed to stay in my place, Galaxy.
Yeah, I was just looking behind, or looking at you. And
Every once in a while, I find myself moving around. So give you an idea. So you remember I told you I recently purchased some Fenn bronzes.
yeah, Yep.
So this is the duck. Yep.
What is that? Is that on a piece of stone or?
It's a piece of marble.
Oh, okay.
So it's a Jack Drake, 1969 Jack Drake. So Forrest created this from Jack Drake's wooden duck, basically. It's number, what did I say? Number 3 out of 50. So it's number 3 out of 50, this one was. So I bought this one first, not realizing the next day what I missed. So now this one, when you see this one compared to this little one, you'll be like, oh my gosh. So this one has like a brown patina to it. And this one, if I can lift it up, it's huge.
Wow. How much you think that weighs?
I don't know. I haven't weighed it yet. I thought about weighing it before I got on live, but I didn't. But this thing is heavy. I mean, this thing is huge compared to this one. So I saw the owl and I had to get the owl. I couldn't pass it up. So there's a guy on eBay. He is helping somebody sell these, part of an estate, and their last name is Scott. So when the grandson took over the estate, there was a bunch of, I guess his grandparents bought a bunch of art whenever they were out west, in the Southwest. And I guess I assume these probably came from the Fenn gallery. Now I haven't clarified that with his grandson yet, but I'm hoping to someday get a story, maybe his grandson was too young to remember, but maybe he does remember something or not. But yeah, the owl's got a green patina to it. I don't know if you can kind of see it. You can kind of see the green in it.
Uh-huh. I could see it.
It kind of has a green patina to it. It actually has a little bit of the casting. I don't know if you can see it or not. Probably not. It has a little bit of the casting still up inside of there. Oh my goodness.
What do you mean, like excess bronze or?
No, like the white casting they used. There's some of
Oh,
that.
okay.
There's some of that up inside of there in some of the places. There's still some of that up in there. And that one was number 4 out of 35. It's numbered 4 out of 35 on that one. Yeah, had I saw the owl first, I would have just got the owl. But I'd already purchased the duck. I asked the guy, I said, so is there a chance we could switch or maybe make me a deal on the owl? And then he shot me a price on the owl. And he got back with me and he goes, actually, it's worth more than that, but I'm going to honor the price I gave you. So what I paid for it, it's worth twice, if not 3 times more than that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was nice of him to do that. I appreciated it because he didn't have to do that at all.
And
Okay.
those were the only 2 items that he had up for sale?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, I think he had a couple more. He had some so this estate had some bunch of artwork and bronzes, and he had some of the Jack Drake wood carvings that this guy artist named Jack Drake had. So he's been selling a lot of stuff on eBay. I should tell you what his name is, but I can't remember now. I'd have to locate that. So I got a few more pictures to share, then I'm done. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, that's collected works there. And there's where they used to do their interviews with different authors, or Forrest. That was outside the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. Oh, this is just a picture of the rail runner. It runs, well, I didn't know it, but it goes all the way to Albuquerque, and it may go past Albuquerque. We didn't see this till like the last day we were there, but it comes in downtown Santa Fe and then turns around and goes back. So
That'd have been fun to go on a little trip on the train.
yeah, that's what I was telling my wife. If we had more time, we could have hopped on it and went down to the because we went to the balloon fiesta in Albuquerque. And I should have, man, I didn't have those pictures. Anyway, my sister-in-law's parents have a balloon, and they've been for this is like their 13th or 14th year. And we just happened to be out there when they were there, and we got to help them set the balloon up and take it down. And that was a lot of fun.
Was it hard work?
No, it's really not. It only takes like 20, 25 minutes to get it up, and 20, 25 minutes to take it down. It's pretty fast. You can do it pretty fast. And they're just used to doing it. They've done it and David, he used to own Tweety Bird, and he owned Putty Cat. You remember Tweety and Putty Cat?
Yeah.
Cartoon? Yeah, he owned those. But he doesn't own those anymore. He got rid of those. They were just, the shapes take a lot of extra care. And there's Peralta. There's Don Pedro de Peralta. And he's pointing. Remember we were discussing this at one point where he's pointing?
Uh-huh.
So I took that.
Isn't it south?
Huh?
Is it south?
North. He's pointing north. 340 degrees north. And the elevation 7,000 in Santa Fe. Yeah, I had to take that for you. That was for you because we were talking about that. The direction he was pointing. And remember, we discussed this Dave McGarry. How Forrest recommended he do that bronze, because I'm pretty sure he had a foundry in Texas, if I remember right. Or did Dave McGarry? What's the story behind it? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Oh, Forrest knew him, and Forrest recommended him, or something like that. I'd have to go back and look up that, because I do remember us discussing that.
It's not ringing a bell for me right now.
Oh yeah. I remember it because I found it and we were talking about it. I'd have to find it, yeah. But he was, so on March 30th, 1609, the Viceroy of New Spain appointed Don Pedro del Peralta governor and captain general of New Mexico. Yeah.
Hmm.
And that was in 1609. If anybody out there listening, if you have a Prime Video, if you stream Prime Video, Billy the Kid series is really good. I've been watching it, and it's a lot about Santa Fe area. That's pretty good series.
You're not
And
done with it yet?
what's that?
You're not done with it yet?
No, because so I finished the first season, and there's only 2 seasons. So I went to the second season night before last for the first episode, and it said, "Oh, you got to pay." I'm like, "What?"
Uh,
So now I either have to pay or I've got to wait until it's free. So I don't know how many people are familiar with Marin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Patricia is her first name, Patricia Marin. Anyway, she was a Fenn searcher, and she has a gallery in Santa Fe. And if you also get a chance to go to Santa Fe, which I highly recommend, please stop by and see Patricia, because I think I made her day when I walked in there and started talking about Forrest Fenn, because we talked for over an hour and had such a great time. She enjoyed it, listened to my stories. I enjoyed listening to her stories, and it was a lot of fun. And that's inside her gallery, and that's her and me. So I did get, you see I've got a bag in my hand there. So I did pick up some art. I'll share that too, because that's just nothing. But yeah, very nice lady. I would definitely go back and visit her. It was a lot of fun.
did she have anything to say about the ending?
Yeah, she was telling me about a dream she had, and how did the dream go? Something about the Madison River, that the treasure was going to be found along the Madison River. And she said her and her husband went to visited that area of the Madison River, and Madison Junction and up in that area, the fire hole, and said they were not far from where Fenn Rock was, and they were like, no way are we going to cross that river. And that probably when they were there, it was probably when the water was high, So yeah, but yeah, we did discuss a little bit about that. But anyway, so the first art I had to get. So she paints on feathers, is what she does. And what I also found out is she has a friend from Missouri, which is where I'm from, and a lot of the feathers that she paints on are turkey feathers from Missouri. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I was telling my son last night, I got to visit with him, and of course he's a big hunter, and I'm not so much the hunter as he is. But I told him, I was telling him about this, and I said, well, he goes, I just found a turkey feather there the other day. And I'm like, well, next time, start picking them up, because we'll have to send them out to her. He thought that was a pretty cool story. But anyway, these aren't original pictures, these are just printed from the original. So it's not like a feather, but because I'm from Missouri, a St. Louis Cardinal fan, I had to get the Cardinal. I don't know if it's going to, probably a lot of glare going on there. Anyway, that's the Cardinal feather one.
Yeah. I could see it.
Kind of a glare. But I had to get that one. It had cool colors. And it's got the Cardinal on it. And that was it's a print is what it is. And comes with its authenticity. And then, of course, we ran into the owl. I'm an owl freak. Of course, that has a lot to do with my solves. So yeah, I gotta be true to the owl there. Anyway, I picked up that from her. So yeah, had a good time in Santa Fe. Can't wait to go back. I would probably spend some time in Taos next time too. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
How many total days were you in there in town?
We got there Thursday afternoon, and we left on Sunday, late Sunday afternoon. So we were there 2 full days, and then part of Sunday we were there, part of Thursday too. Everything kind of, what I found out there is everything kind of shuts down after like right around 5 o'clock or between 5 and 6.
Mm.
It was a lot of fun. I would highly recommend it, especially go see the gallery and visit with Patricia. She would get a kick out of it. And yeah, I tried to find the old wood showroom, and I didn't have any luck. Somebody told me I was in the right location, but it wasn't there. So I would like to have visited the showroom, the old wood showroom.
Shiloh probably found out you were coming to town, so he
Shut
took
it down.
down all the signs.
Shut it down. Well, so next year we're actually, because we redid our upstairs, the bedroom and the bathroom, master bedroom and the bathroom. And next year my wife's wanting to do the living room, dining room, and kitchen. So I told her, I was like, well, it'd be kind of cool to have some of Shiloh's old wood in the house. But I'm sure I can't afford that. But maybe the entryway. I could just do the entryway like a 4 foot by 4 foot. So you notice I've got my Minnesota Vikings on, don't you?
I do.
I got the purple and the gold. So do you have any? So here's the other thing. I was gonna share, I should just read it. Can I just read it? Find it now. So something I wanted to share with everybody, but I was going to share the actual email, and then I realized there's email addresses and names and a phone number, and I'm like, oh, I can't share that. So I will read it. So Steve Klein reached out to me by email and shared with me his emails conversation with Ken Tankersley. I think a lot of people probably already know this, but I wasn't aware of it. So, and I asked him if it was okay if I shared. Well, I'm not going to actually share the email because, like I said, I don't have stuff blurred out. I don't have things, I'd have to blur things out like phone numbers and a couple of emails because I, don't want that. But what was interesting was the night that Ben came on, and Shiloh supposedly, somebody is shooting outside. Hope that they're just fireworks. Shiloh had made the comment that there's only one chest. However, there are a few jars to find. So I think that's why Ken Tankersley, that's why Steve Klein shared his email with me, because it's pretty interesting what he had to say. So Steve sent Ken an email, and this is what it says. First off, I really enjoyed the book you wrote on Sitting Bull's Peace Pipe. Great job. In your honest opinion, do you think Fenn hit a trove in the Rockies? Ken Tankersley replies to Steve's email and says, I have seen the chest firsthand and filled. I do not believe that Forrest ever said or wrote that it was hidden in the Rockies. Well, we kind of know that that's not right, Galaxy?
Yeah.
So then Steve replies back and says, man, that's awesome. You got to see the chest and contents before you hit it. You and Fenn are like the real Indiana Jones. I'd figure you and Doug Preston would have found it by now, but I know you guys are so busy. Happy holidays to you and yours. And then Ken replies back, hi, Steve. Neither of us are interested. We both know that the book leads to a buried jar with a clue, which leads to another buried jar with another clue, and so on. Besides, the real treasure in the book is Forrest and his family. All best wishes. So I thought it was interesting, Ken Tankersley,
Yeah,
kind of references the jars, and that was did I tell you the date that was? I failed to tell you that. So the conversation started on December 27th, 2018. That was Steve's email to Forrest. So that was in 2018 is when those took place, all in December. So I thought it was interesting. I asked him if I could share, and he said, yeah, sure. Some people already know about it. But after Shiloh made that comment about
about the
however,
jar.
yeah, however, there are two jars. There are a few jars. But I also remember Forrest saying that he couldn't even remember where he put them.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if that's just his opinion, or if he actually knows
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. I don't know. David Pisano said, my ancestors were Vikings. I'm kind of looking at chat, sorry.
No, you're good.
Well, I think I'm done after getting a slow start trying to get my preferences set up right. Sorry about that. I was for sure everything was working just right. Is that the way it goes?
Yeah. Well, at least you got it though.
Yeah, finally. It took forever. I had to Google it though. I remember my kids in school, they'd ask me a question. I'd say, oh, I don't know, ask Google. Well,
Heard from Jason?
Stumpy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
Good.
Yeah. A couple of times, just recently heard from him. He's doing pretty good. I talked to Jason Dent just on text a couple of here recently. He's doing okay. I think he'd rather me just let me leave him alone. Rather me leave him alone. Is that what I said? I don't know if I said that right or not, but I told him, the way I put it to him, I was like, you guys are the first two searchers. You were like my first searcher meetup, you and Sasha. So to me, that's a big deal. I said, you guys were like YouTube royalty. And he's like, no. I said, I don't bother him too much. I said, every once in a while I ask him a question, but I don't push him at all. Nor would I.
Well, I just wish he'd put the interview back up.
Oh, you talk about the Playboy interview?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did ask him about that. And, I think it's just, well, I think he was just, he's wants to move on. At least that's what he's saying, it was a distraction and it's better just to let it go.
Yeah, but now he's just gonna have people bothering him about the footage.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I just think it would be a nice thing to just hand it off to somebody else.
mhm.
You know, it can stay on YouTube.
Well, I'm sure somebody's downloaded it. I mean, I think you can just download it. If you pay that certain amount, you can download videos.
But it's too late now.
Yeah, it's too late now if somebody didn't. But that was one of my favorite interviews.
Oh, mine too.
Oh, I didn't share with you. So X sent me an email today. It's on $17 a square inch. She said, it occurred to me that maybe I better read this book since the number 17 crops up so much in Fenn's stories. Hope she doesn't mind me sharing, but too late. Instead of buying it, I ordered it on interlibrary loan. You ever heard of that?
No.
It came in today. Guess from where? The Lumi Island Public Library.
Ah,
And it was signed by FF to the library. So I guess Dale bought it and donated it to the library and had FF sign it. So now I'm holding a book that FF held and that Dale held. How do you like that? Isn't that crazy?
he donated it, but they sold it.
No, she assumes that Dale had Forrest sign it and he donated it to the library. That's the way I took that. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah. I told her that's pretty awesome. So you have anything to add? Anything you want to talk about? It's 9:30, 10:30 your time. Oh boy.
What about that other topic?
What are our topics at? The purple and gold?
Yeah.
Oh, the purple and gold. Do you want to so we know the purple is for Forrest, but the gold, what's the gold for?
I don't know. You tell me.
Should I reveal? Is there something behind me? I don't know. Is there?
What is it?
I'll just move to the other side. How's that? Good
Better.
night, everybody. You can stay on, Galaxy.
All right.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry I didn't pay much attention to chat. I was so busy.